I just love these new Skagit Scouts. They're so fun to fish and so fun to cast. And I wanted to share with you guys today a tip that's going to really kind of help supercharge your cast. And if you're brand new to this sport, this might be a little bit much for you, but if you're a intermediate or advanced caster, this is going to help take you to the next level. And what we're going to really focus on today is your D-loop and how to get the most out of your D-loop. So let's just talk first and foremost about what is the point of the D-loop. Essentially, we're trying to bend the rod. We're trying to load the rod without losing our anchor. Those are our two most important things. And one of the things I've noticed about these shorter lines is it's easier to blow your anchor, and it's also easier to not get it into the 180-degree rule. So for those of you that are a little newer to this, let's just talk about what the 180-degree rule is before we move on. The easiest way to explain it is if you do a roll cast. You've got your fly on the water, you've got your D-loop, and you've got your forward cast. The most efficient cast is when everything lines up. In other words, you cast right next to your fly. Well, in a spey cast, essentially what that means is we're putting our fly in a position that allows us to pivot around, and now everything is lining up this way. So that's the 180-degree plane. Really, really important. A lot of people don't quite understand that, but it's a really critical part of your spey cast and learning how to maximize the energy in your D-loop. So what we're going to focus on here is really about power application into your D-loop. So I want you to imagine we're going to do a double spey here, a reverse double spey off my left shoulder. So I'm going to set up my anchor and I'm going to start my sweep into my D-loop in position A. And I'm going to finish my sweep in position C. So position B is going to be somewhere along this line, this sweep. And the thing that I want you guys to really kind of walk away from this is understanding that B is not a constant. In other words, B is going to be the point where we really start to put some acceleration into our D-loop. So keep one thing in mind, the most efficient D-loop you can make is when you can drive it back into a point while still keeping your anchor on the water. If you can get the most energy going this way, it's going to help you cast further that way. But we have to keep that anchor on the water. So what I'm going to think about is, as I think about where I'm going to cast, let's say I'm going to cast straight across the water. As I sweep, point B is going to really be about right here, fairly early in the sweep, and then back into my firing position. Now if my target moves down, point B has to also move further down the line. So I'm going to delay that acceleration maybe to there to make the cast. And then if I was going to cast way downstream, I'd have to delay even further, come around, round, and then really think about that compression late. So I think one of the keys to this is, especially with these shorter heads, is really just thinking about starting smooth and slow, quantify it in your head 5 miles per hour, and start slow and easy. And I make my cast. So that cast was straight across. You could see my acceleration happen early. Now let's move our target down just a little bit further. And you'll see that point B, or the acceleration point, happens a little bit later. So we set it up, start slow, there's my acceleration, and I make my cast further downriver. So really think about the 180-degree rule. Think about if you want to cast that way, you've got to compress everything back that way. Really think about where your rod starts that acceleration in that plane, and that'll help you supercharge everything and make longer casts. For more tips like this, visit airflowusa.com. You can also check out my spey casting videos, Skagit Revolution.